All right, this is a tutorial on replacing that light, okay? You see that we're on a staircase here. All right, we got two, sort of short flights of stairs, but pay close attention to this. We've got a landing here that's got two steps, very uneven. Here's my camera setup. Second flight of stairs. So that is approximately 14 feet up. I know it doesn't look like it from here because I went up the second flight of stairs, but that is what we're replacing today with that style of light. It's a nice LED, very easy install, changes colors, all that kind of stuff, connected to Wi-Fi. So when replacing this, what's the answer? What's the solution? You can't just set up a ladder on two uneven stairs. You don't really want to lean it up against a wall because first of all, that's probably not going to be safe anyway, but also how much damage are you going to do to the drywall? So what's the answer to getting all the way up there? So I got to thinking, why not do it from the inside? So this is a two-story house. Here's my access point to the attic. So I'm going to climb up, go into the attic, do it. You see I've already done these lights. I did have to go into the attic for one of these because one of them was mounted, and I can show you. One of them was mounted with this. Look at these nails. These nails, when people are first installing these lights into houses for the first time, they use these types of housings, and look at that nail. It's a really long nail. All right, so the objective here is to not get hurt, get into the attic, and remove the light from the inside, and then lower it down. So here's the setup. Here's what you're gonna need. You may not need this because we're not cutting drywall from the inside, so we probably don't need something protecting our face and eyes, but you can use it just in case. We're gonna use this to pry the nail off if there is a nail mounted housing in there. I did get lucky a couple of times on some of these lights because you can see there we got a light here. All of these lights I've replaced except for that one because it's the most difficult one. So hammer to wedge this in if we need to. You potentially don't need fish tape because really what we're doing was we're just trying to feed the light or lower the light down. So you may not need that. You could get away with probably some string or rope. Then we've got one of these style of drywall cutters. So we're going to use this to, I've already got it set to the right width. So we're likely going to be cutting from the inside, assuming that there isn't a stud right where I need to cut. We'll update when I get to that point. I might need a drill. I know I used a drill previously. I might be able to get away with it since I'm just lowering down the whole light fixture. And then regular measuring tape that you actually don't need because you don't need to measure the 14 feet that is that lower landing step to the light and getting hit in the face with the measuring tape multiple times. All right, I'll update you soon. Important. any kind of tape, but duct tape, which it's not really the actual brand. Close enough. Some kind of tape to tape the wire or housing to whatever it is that you're going to be lowering. So if you're going to use fish tape, you see I've already done this previously on different situations, but this is the first time I'm going to be doing this. So this is going to be a learning experience. Forgot a couple of things. Flashlight, headlamp if you can get it, something to cover your mouth and nose for the insulation. It's not a super hazardous insulation up there, but you don't want to be breathing it. You don't want to be coughing for the rest of the day after you've inhaled a bunch of these fibers. All right, so forgot about these 2 steps. I'm editing this. You definitely need this, because how else are you going to cut the hole? Now, I may run into an issue where the stud is right on the hole that it currently exists, because I'm going to be widening whatever hole is right there. So if I find out that there's a stud there, I'm not going to probably be able to use this, and I'm going to have to cut it with some kind of blade of some sort. I don't have specific blades for cutting drywall, but we'll figure it out. I've done it in the past. So just an update. I'm winging this, guys. In case you didn't know, I'm winging this. First step is turn the breaker off. No, don't just turn off the light switch. Turn off the breaker. You can see my messy house. Where am I cut this? Messy garage. I already know it's this one. Just tested it. Alright, it's off. Off. Okay? Did I mention my attic is not finished? I mean, it's finished. It just doesn't have any boards, So this is what I'm working with. We just came through this hole. I'm moving my equipment along here, and I'm standing on the rafters. And we've got these 2 things here. We got to go this way. And I've got these 2 ducts here. Can't really go over it. Can't go around it, because that's going to take even longer. I think we got to go under it. After much struggle and cursing, we arrive on the other side of the ducts. Now I just need to grab all the equipment, and it should be somewhere around in that fluff right there. All right. I moved all the equipment from there to there. We're not quite there yet, but we're making our way downtown. And I'm thinking they really should come up with some kind of invention that allows you to carry your equipment from one place to another without having to, pick it up and move it every couple of feet in order to get to your destination. Put that out into the universe, people. We need some kind of invention that allows that. Okay. The good news is I think I found it. I say I only think I found it because I thought it was in line with that one, but we're slightly past that. But I don't know what this one could be if it's not over the stairs, so I think I just miscalculated. Again, guys, I'm just winging this shit, okay? So here's the deal.
I said that's the good news. I'm going to double check to make sure that it is. But here's the bad news, is, it's mounted. And I guess I should have assumed. But it's mounted with one of those really long nails. And look where it is. Right up against a board. And the problem with that is that I have to cut a slightly larger hole than this. And that's going to be a pain. I might have to do this manually. All right? That's the update.
Remember what I said about that bad news? Well, I said I didn't have one. I do, because I've already dealt with this before, I forgot. All right? So that hole is definitely getting cut open one way or another. Whether I get to use the nice and easy special cutter tool. All right, I'm showing you this because I don't think I'm going crazy. That is further than that one, right? And I'd say it's about 2 arms length, so my wingspan wide. And it's slightly further ahead, so should be the right one. Guys, this is the one. I'm sure of it now. Look at that one over there. If the shadow would get out of the way, that's there. And about 1 wingspan length away, we have this other one. And it's slightly forward. This is the one. All right, update here. Here's the problem. We have 2 of those extremely long nails. You see, this is the length that is sticking out. There's still like probably twice, or well, not twice. Another one of these, what's sticking out, is in the board, okay? So the problem with that is that, and I'm trying to balance on this beam here and try and give you as much light as possible. Here's the problem. If I were to put torque on these nails and try to pull them out of the boards, I'm going to be pulling the housing with it, okay? And I don't want to damage the drywall, the hole that exists already. I am going to be expanding that hole, but I don't want to damage it to an extent further than what I'm already going to be cutting it further. So I'm going to have to cut these guys. I'm going to go in here and I'm either going to saw it, and I can't use this, but I don't know. I might be able to clip it. I might have something that can cut those. Because there is enough distance, there is enough space in between that. I know you can't see it. I'm trying to pull my headlamp around the camera so I'm not blocking out the light here. I'm going to cut those guys. All right, here's the kicker. My master plan involved lowering the entire thing, obviously with the wire disconnected, down into the house. Here's the problem with that. The hole is only the size of the inside of the housing. And my light here is flickering out, sorry. It's only as wide as this radius here, right? Which doesn't include those. So the hole would already have to be bigger than the entire housing. Now, for my case, that would still be okay if I could actually cut using this deal. But how am I going to cut it with the housing there? That's my problem. I don't know that I can actually do this. I still have an idea, but it's going to require this.
So, not using that. Probably gonna use the Dremel. We'll see. Okay, so here's the good news for me. I say for me because this may not be the same case for you. I have separated the housing from the rafter or the stud, and you can see the wire is now hanging through the housing, so it's just being held up by the wire. Now, I'm not too worried. You may on the comments say that, oh, well, now you're just hanging the whole thing from the wires. That's bad, and it could give at any point. There's like a safety wire that is attached behind that prevents this kind of thing. So if the housing were to ever give, that it would still be at least hanging on by a fine wire or thread. So again, I say this is the case for me. It may not be the same for you. I was able to cut through with a Dremel through just the plastic part that was keeping the nail in, and then I was able to pull the nail out of the stud. So we're clear. Now, the only thing is now for me, I've got to separate the wire and then lower it down. So first I'm going to attach my fish tape with some tape, get it real nice and snug and tight, and then I'm going to have that just readily available for when I do detach all these wires. I'm going to slowly lower it down. So I lucked out here, guys. This could have gone very easily a different way. Through much struggle, I was able to pull enough slack of the wire that's attached to the light up through the hole and attach my fish tape. That's what this is moving right now. That's the fish tape. Very ugly, but it should do. It's also going to probably be a pain to take apart on the other end. But that's good because I don't want it crashing down when I detach these wires. So that's the next step. I'm going to detach these wires and we should be able to lower it down. All right, wires are detached. And now I got my fish tape here. And I'm just going to let it slowly down. Slowly go down. Not a lot of room here to see. But I just realized I don't have the camera showing down the stairs. It's whatever at this point. I'm not going to climb all the way down there just to turn that camera on. You can see what I'm doing. I'm lowering it down from the top. All right. We did have to come down here anyway to detach that and to pull the fish tape back up. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to do it again. We're just doing this because we want to keep the hole clear for when I cut it. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with using the that yellow. That's one of the cutting tools that I was going to think about using. You can see I did do a little bit of damage to the drywall, but cutting open that hole wider should fix that issue. We shouldn't have to do any additional work. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so again, I'm going to have to detach this and pull the fish tape up, which means I'm going to have to go back up there again. But at least the next time I go up there, we're going to be cutting. And again, we're doing this to keep this fish tape out of the way in case I can use some kind of tool up there. I've got several tools up there at this point to cut open the hole wider. Because again, the lights that I have require a wider hole. And we don't want the fish tape getting tangled up while I'm cutting. So I'm going to undo this
Then we'll probably see me back up in the attic once I've pulled the fish tape back up. All right, I said I wasn't going to come back until after I was back up there and I was cutting. But yeah, this was never going to come off by weight alone. I had to cut that quite a bit in order to release it from the light. But here's the other light that is ready to go, but we don't want to attach it yet because we still have to cut and we don't want the fish tape getting in the way. So we're going to come back down here eventually. But I did want to mention while I'm down here, guys, clean this up. Make sure that you don't piss off your lady. I don't have to worry about that. I'm single. But yeah, score some points with your lady and clean up after your project.
All right, so not great for insulating the house, but great when you're working on a project around here. You want to move all of this out of the way so you have a clear path to cut the drywall. I'm now pulling up the wire. I don't know what it is with fish tape, but they always, after a few uses, really struggle to wind back up. So I'm just pulling all the excess up into the attic so that I can quickly and easily lower it back down when I need to pull the light back up. Now I think we're ready to cut. I do have this ready here, and now I'm just making a mess of things. All right, you know what? Let's put that in our pocket so we don't forget it. And yeah, so this is about how much we have to go. So you don't want to do it this way, honestly. But for this purpose, I may just do like a little score mark. I may do it real slow to score a little mark around the hole. Not going to do this with one hand, by the way. But just to get an idea of where I need to cut, because then I have several things that I can use to cut. And we should be good to go. Okay. So this is the template for the hole that I need. Don't do it like I was trying to do. Don't try and score it first, because unless you've got an amazing device that doesn't have any kickback, do not try to score the hole using that type of tool. I do have a pen for marking on the back side of the drywall. Pencil too, just in case. And we should be good to go. See why I said don't? Don't do that. That'll work. Time to feed the fish tape. All right, we're up here. So time to pull it all up. This is sorry, very jostly. I'm doing a terrible job, guys. Again, I'm saying I winged this. I am using my knee to hold the fish tape while I hold the camera with another hand, all while balancing on two rafters. I mean, if that's not dedication, I don't know what is. Oh, one-handed still. Everything all one-handed. And with hopefully minimal jostling, maybe I can add some camera stabilization after the fact. But here we are. We are in the final stretch. I'm going to pull that tape off, get it wired up. It's all color-coded. And once we're done with that, we should be good. We should be done. And ready to go. Ready to turn the breaker back on and test it out. All right? Here we go. And in like less than 5 seconds, I pulled the wire. That's your ground, which is the sleeveless, and your hot and your neutral, and they are plugged into their respective colors. Let me pull it out here. So there's your ground, white to white, black to black, all color coded for you. Pack that in there. Don't get any of the insulation in there, and give it a close. And as long as there's no wire hanging out, exposed wire on that end, I don't know. I'm going to call that good. It's probably not up to code. Please don't report me. I'm not an expert. But here we are. We should be good to go. I should be able to go home or go down and flip the breaker and turn it on. All right, let's put all this insulation back over it, because I don't expect that I'm going to have any reason to come back up here. We know where it is if we have to, though. All right, now is the hardest task, which is to get your fish tape all bundled back up. Thanks, fish tape. All right, moment of truth. We're back at the breaker. We're gonna flip it on. I don't hear anything going off, so we must have done something right. Back through the messy house. Again, it tracks all through the house, guys. Don't make your ladies or your husbands upset. Okay? And, oh, wait, hang on a minute. It's quite bright here. Oh, wow. It's working. And we just did that all ourselves without a expensive ladder that would have, I have no idea how you would even have a ladder straddle these steps, but it wouldn't be safe, let me tell you that. So we just did the as safe as we possibly could, went through the attic, did it from the inside, and we are golden. So you can see that we're just at white right now. That's the default color. We haven't hooked it up to Wi-Fi yet, but the intention is to set it to a more neutral color that matches the upstairs that I have up there, the hallway lights. But you can see I have these lights down here as well, and we've got just different strobing colors here. These I've set to nightlight just because I don't usually need them in here, but when I do things like I have a Beat Saber parties, I can set up on the big screen and turn it into like a music concert in here with different color changing lights, and they're all doing it in different sequences. But I'm about to clean up here, so please enjoy this cleanup montage. So the blade on the rotary tool was actually broken. So it, for whatever reason, I guess maybe when I was taking it back out of the attic, it had snapped almost in half. But it was still attached to this. And it's been a long time since I used a rotary tool. And what I didn't realize is that each of them has a washer. Just under that screw is a washer. And when I was throwing it out, I had dropped it into the trash. I had everything out, you know, the screw, the bit, all of it was out. But I guess I had lost the washer. So I went and used one of these earth magnets on the trash and got it within half a second. So, gotta love earth magnets. Oh yeah, multiple tools brought to you by Jerry Health Productions. This is not a sponsored ad, but thanks, Papa.